Now back to the story now. The Guptas have lost their application for leave to appeal an interim order grounding their jet. The R500 million aircraft is being stored at Lanseria International Airport. eNCA reporter Erin Bates joins me in studio now. So, Erin, this is part of the assets that were, are being seized by the Assets Forfeiture Unit in their ongoing investigations. On what grounds did they lose this application?
Yes, so the whole issue of ownership of this jet is key to what's happened today. The applicants in this case for leave to appeal are West Dawn, which is the company that's owned by Oak Bay and was holding the jet for the Guptas. Then also Atul Gupta, his wife Chitali, and Oak Bay Investments. So they applied to the court to have a ruling from March overturned, saying that this jet needed to be grounded. And the respondents in the case are a Canadian state-owned enterprise, EDC, which was the financier for the actual owner of the jet, which is an Irish-based company called Stone River. So the Guptas don't own the plane. They were leasing the plane. They made a $10 million down payment on it, and then they had a payment plan to repay the full value or buy the full value of the jet, which is another $40 million over time. And so the issue of who owns the jet and whether the jet can be seized by the AFU as a Gupta asset still needs to be determined, and that will happen in a separate case, which is in the High Court. So today was really about whether or not the Guptas could apply for leave to appeal to stop that order from March saying the jet needs to remain put in Lanseria pending some other law litigation that's going to be happening in England.
So while all of this this legal conundrum is being resolved, this company is not holding its horses, is it? That this company that's taking the Guptas to court, even asking for imprisonment for the wife of Atul Gupta.
Yes, no sooner had the judge announced that this application for leave to appeal had been dismissed and that it didn't serve the ends of justice, did counsel for the Canadian company and the Irish company, so the financier of the jet and the owner of the jet, launch into an application arguing that there should be an order around contempt of court, that because the Guptas and their company didn't obey the order of March the 19th, they were, on his argument, in contempt of court, and the court should order that the original order to return the jet be enforced, and that if they fail to do so within 2 days, that they be subject to up to 30 days of imprisonment. And that specifically applied to Atul Gupta and his wife Chitali. But what complicates this further to us, it's a whole web, a spider's web of litigation, is that even if this application is successful and the matter's been remanded until next week, that won't have any effect immediately. What will happen is that the lawyer for the Canadian and Irish company will have that order in his back pocket. He then has to go to the High Court and say, the asset you've seized, this jet worth R500 million, doesn't actually belong to the Guptas. It belongs to my client, and you need to let me have it back. And if he gets that order, he can then whip out this and say, on these grounds, the Guptas have 2 days to give it to me or it's jail time.
Oh, wow. Pretty complicated stuff. But now, Erin, as we talk about all of this, where's the jet at the moment and what is its status? So in terms of, the custodianship of it?
Yes, I've been trying to find out. So it's sitting at Lanseria International Airport. It has been grounded. As far as we know, and I have put in an inquiry into the Civil Aviation Authority, it still has that registration number SZOAK in a reference to Oak Bay. But the jet is currently grounded at Lanseria International Airport, and from what I understand, it arrived in South Africa on the 13th of April. That was after the case before the South Gauteng High Court saying that the jet must be grounded. So it arrived back and it was immediately seized. And it seems as though it was seized on 2 grounds, or it was put into a kind of sort of suspension on 2 grounds. The one was this court ruling over the Canadian and Irish companies, and the other was the Asset Forfeiture Unit case, which is currently underway. So in terms of that, they believe that this jet is a Gupta asset, and that still needs to be finalized when we go to the High Court.
I tell you